All right, folks, we are at the end of C1. 1 month has passed. As usual, time always flies fast. Yeah, but yeah, uh, we are at the end. It's the end of the month, and yeah, I think we have seen a lot of changes in the leaderboard over time. And yeah, let's do a quick reflection in today's celebration call. Ankit, I'll let you
Yeah.
take it from here.
I'll try sharing my screen. And yep. So I hope you all can see this along with other random things. So yeah. So three people actually, Raj Kishan, Agrata, and Shivang, read all 30 days of Read30x30. So big rounds of applause for them, even though they are not here today. And other than that, we really had some great participation. And most of the people read almost 21 days. So if you see week 3, it's almost full for most of the people here, like me, Sahiti, Alok, Rajat, Swapnil, Pranjal, all of us. But we just happened to drop off in week 4. All of us together, it feels like a mass bunk ही कर लिया हम लोगों ने. But yeah, the results were really great. Almost 50% of us completed 3 weeks consistently, and 3 of us completed all 4 weeks. So yeah, these were the results.
Awesome. Can you also share this link? Let me just drop in the chat.
Yep,
So
I'll do that.
there was a option to share, like submit a form, which you can still do now. And what that will help us make is something like this. I guess I can share screen. Just open this out. So we're trying something out. We're trying to create like reader profiles, and of course the design is just like in progress. We'll improve that with time. But yeah, here is like a sort of like a v1, uh, wherein it's almost like whatever excerpts you're putting, you see two things here. One is a streak, which is how, um, like, if you miss any day, the streak resets to 0, and how long you've continuously been reading for the last X days. So in this case, it is 4, and how many total excerpts you have logged, that is 17. There are some favorite books at the top, currently reading, and then there are some excerpts at the bottom. So yeah, I think we're sort of building it out so that this is something you can share. uh, this is something like we're building for ourselves mostly, so that we can put it out there for others to see. And like this can be like a good conversation starter with any other reader, so to say. Yeah, so we're excited about building this as well. So if you, yeah, you can just like, this is just, can go through the quotes which the other person found interesting, maybe strike up a conversation based on that. So yeah, that is about it. If you want yours as well, do fill out the form in the announcements channel, and we'll make yours as well. Any feedback? I think Pranjal, this is the first time you must be seeing this, right? Okay, Pranjal is not connected to audio.
He's actually in a train. So
Yeah. Hey, Pranjal, are you there?
in between.
It's breaking, right? All right, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cool, cool. No worries. Other folks in the call, any feedback you have, we can. This is a work in progress, so we can definitely improve on this. Any early, like quick first reactions, what are your first reactions? Maybe we can start from there.
I had one thought, like, we have added 3 books in the starting. If I see from a layman, right, I am not able to understand what these books symbolizes. If we can add a little heading, that would be great.
Understood. Wahab, let's do that. Anything else, Onkar?
This looks great, to be honest. Like, I know mine won't be populated as much because I didn't do much, but I think this looks great. Follow the standard YouTube template where you go to any channel, it's like got really good slots and cover page and like whatever. I'm not really sure. This looks great as well, but like the other person said, the first 3 covers probably don't make much sense. Why it doesn't for me is like I know Famous Five or I know Fault in Our Stars, but I can confuse the name of the book to be John Green. So if you could have the titles of the books there as well, probably that could help with. I don't know.
Understood. Cool.
Again,
Yeah,
like just a suggestion, you'll know better.
yeah, I think from a design perspective, we'll definitely work on this. Mostly like I think we haven't even shared this anywhere public yet. It's just mostly like a work in progress. Cool. I think now we can stop sharing this, and Ankita, we can like do a reflection. Can you just share the format?
Okay, so now we are basically going to go around the room and talk about what we read and how our experience with Read30 was, and probably how we can improve this cohort / course in the coming days. So yeah, any volunteers who wants to go first? What did you read and how your experience was? Okay, Onkar has volunteered, so I'll pass the mic to him. Virtual mic to him.
Hello. So guys, thank you so much for organizing this. This, even though not fully and anywhere on the leaderboard, but got me back into reading. And even though I've not been active on Discord or on the updates channel, whenever I felt like I needed a break, I picked up the book and I did read through a little bit, probably a few pages, probably a little bit of the book. And of course, kudos to Swapnil for recommending that book. That book was really nice. The habit of reading is still like it eludes me. I have to pick up my phone once in a while. I am like my attention span is really fucked. So I need to make sure that I'm now doing exercise and meditation and stuff. So hopefully that helps. But a feedback probably like do a proper schoolish like 1 hour call or like half an hour call. I don't know how that would work, but like you join in, this is like an accountability call. While you're in this call, you just read and do nothing else. I understand that like overlapping timings is a very difficult thing to find, or probably it might people might not be willing to join in. It's too much work maybe, but this could help me. So there is this Discord channel group called Study Along, where you've got to share your screen and study, and that's like a good accountability channel. There's other people who are sharing their screens as well, etc. I don't know if this will work, but maybe along the lines of this. But it has been fun for me. Like I didn't finish the book yet. I'm probably like 1/3 in, and I'll go at my slow pace. But I'm glad that a small catalyst from you guys helped me pick back up the book. So we recently moved places, and I'm glad to say that I like made sure that I took my book as well, and I'm gonna continue here. So that's about it. Discord seems to be a little too janky for me. My phone's not very nice, so I didn't go back on Discord a lot to read through the posts thing. That was not the smoothest experience, but I think mission successful, I can say, for the gang because you got me back into reading.
All right,
That's
all right. Can you also like talk about the book that you read and maybe some interesting things that you found from there?
Oh, sure. So I read about the book I read was The Science of Storytelling. So I was finding it very difficult to select which book. I've only read fiction right now, and like right in my school days. And I love writing or like screenplays or movies or examining movies as such. So Swapnil selected or suggested this book for me. The book basically opened up a whole new segment of things for me. It was like there is no other word than mind blowing which could describe what the book did to me. And the way the author used current and previous prose from movies and from books itself to talk specifically about the explanations of his own theories. So for example, what he says, one of the like kind of mind-blowing things which he always says is like, hey, you're not living in the world, you're inside this dark space called the skull. Your brain, right? Your body is just a vehicle for you to move your brain around. So the world as you know it is just a sort of a metaverse or like a hallucination which your brain makes for you to live in. And then how you populate that metaverse depends on your senses. And I think that was really, really interesting for me. And then like leaving incomplete bits of information out, and like how you can see a whole picture but only focus on one thing, and how a writer or a storyteller can generate that to make sure that the like reader or consumer of your content is very engrossed and willing to turn the page over, or something which I found brilliant. Yeah, curiosity grab. Yeah, so that was fun. That was interesting. That's about it, I think. Not yet finished,
Cool.
so
We are
probably
glad. Yeah, we are glad we were of help, and even the book sounds pretty interesting.
very, very.
Yep. So, who goes next? Any takers?
Onkar, you get to tag someone.
All right, from the participants, someone who had their mic on earlier and still do, it is Sahiti. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Hi guys, good morning. So we are sharing about the books we read, the experience, how it's been being here in this cohort. That's it, right? So yeah, the book I'm reading is Getting Things Done. And it was for the self-improvement stuff and getting actually things done on like daily basis, being consistent and everything. I am just like 1/3 in, but the book is like really nice. It The first chapter went like saying that you can do stuff, uh, but how to do that is like explained in the second starting from the second chapters. And the first chapter gave me hope that yeah, it told me the scenarios that people go through, and what we should be doing is like covered in the next 2 3 chapters. So yeah, it's been like really great, and I've been I've been not productive myself, at least how much I want to be in the past few months. So this book like really helped me, like at least getting into the figuring out stage where it's going wrong and like where I can improve. That's a really big deal for me. It just because this is like a proven path, right? So I don't have to stress about is this going to work. I'm just confident that this is going to work. It's just like me that needs to be there every day and do the work, do the thing that is said to be done, irrespective of how I feel. It's like putting in me into like discipline. I think that is the huge thing here, and I really loved and I'm still loving. The book is not done yet. It's so heavy, so I'm taking it in a slow pace, maybe 1 or 2 pages a day. But I am pretty happy about that as well, because every page has like a lot of insights, and a small exercise continued by that, just checking on what I'm doing from them and what I'm not doing, what I should be cutting down, and everything. So yeah, it's been like really great getting into this book. Swapnil suggested me this book as well, so thanks for that. And the second book I am reading is the Phantom Toll Booth. So that is going on really well as well. It's it's a different thing. It's like a fiction, and yet it has like a lot of connection to the real life, which we went through when we were kid, and getting the and connecting the same things to like today's age as well. I don't know how the author did that. That's like really fascinating me. That is great. Even in that book, I'm not like very far along. I just started like couple of days ago. But yeah, those are the two books I read throughout this through October. And I really love that. And I used to be a book reader. At least I was for 6 months to 1 year when I was in college. After that, I never opened a book. Yeah, I never opened a book. And being in here in this cohort, I actually did open the book almost every day, just to so the one reason I got into here is like calm my mind before sleeping. And I didn't had a routine for that. I had like so many thoughts, so many that actually is linked up with my transition from night owl to morning early bird. So that so everything is connected, and this one thing kept everything gave everything a challenge, saying that everything linked, right? So one thing changing the whole routine, I think it's like a pretty big deal for me. And it really worked every day at night before sleeping. Yeah. So every day before sleeping, I read the book, and even if it's like for 15 minutes, it felt like literal meditation, because I am not doing anything else. The only one rule I kept is like not getting into any gadgets. I need to open the book, and I need to sit there. And even then, I used to read 3 books, 3 pages a day at least. And then the content which literally went into my head is like only 2 pages, but I'm fine with that. And throughout the third page, I used to fall in sleep, and that is a actually plus point for me, because that is my goal. So yeah, everything like went really great. I'm so happy to be here. And like again, the reading habit felt like, as I'm telling you, meditation. I can't do like literal meditation, but this can convert into meditation, right? So yeah, I'm so happy to be here, and it really worked for me. Yeah. And one thing Omkar said, like, having a reading session, I don't know that even I felt it, because I opened the book for 3 pages every day. That's fine, but I think I want to do more now. Not just that, and if at all anything is there for me to make it more accountable, I think that will help me you know extend the bandwidth. So that is one thing I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, Sahiti, both on the book and and I don't even like calling it a course. I don't even know what to call this.
I yeah, maybe it's just and I
What do we call it? I think before going forward, we need to finalize. Yeah, cohort based book club seem CBBC. इस CBSC जैसा sound कर रहा है.
yeah, even I was calling it like a cohort only, but yeah, it can do like a lot more than that.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. And we are glad that you had a great time.
Yeah.
And
Thank
you
you so
had a
much for
productive
asking.
time more than that.
Yeah. I did, definitely did.
Great, great. So yeah, you get to pick the next person. So who do you want to go next?
Smile. Is she there?
Uh,
Is
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
here.
Okay.
So hey everyone, thank you. First of all, thank you, Swapnil and Ankita, for organizing this. I started very religiously reading starting of this month, like every day 30 minutes. I used to pick it up, but yeah, then I had to travel a lot, and I was not able to read regularly. But as Omkar, what he did, I started keeping the book with me every day, every time where I have to head out. Maybe I have my wedding planned, like that got finalized during this month, like I got engaged this month, so it was too much of difficulty. But between some that shopping trials, I was reading the book, so like one page just to say sometime when you were jumping from here and there. So yeah, it was a good one. At last, I completed the book. So I was flying to my hometown. So I means I picked one. Initially this month, I picked a fairly new book, but then I realized this month is full of travel. So I will repick a book which I like a lot in past, so that at least I will have that feeling. Okay, हाँ कि climax में क्या हुआ मुझे पता है type. So yeah, I read a book recently. Like I used to read Chetan Bhagat a lot. I read recently started writing that crime thriller book. So I picked his second book, 400 Days. So it revolves around how a kid got kidnapped, and for 400 days that girl was missing, and her mother hired two agents to like earlier they relied on cops to find out their missing girl, but that was not working out. So her mom hired two private agents, and she gave them a responsibility to find their daughter. At the end, what like they tried checking all the rivalries, if who have kidnapped and things on those things. At the end, the Panditji, who used to come in their house, he only kidnapped a girl. And that was, super like shocking. Okay, why a Pandit will kidnap a girl? So he was because he was mad in love with that girl. And so, yeah, that is some story that he was during this book. Again, I was not able to see it today reading this book, but I'm happy at least I have started again. So that's the big takeaway.
Okay, so first of all, congratulations, Smile, and thank you so much for being a part of this despite having so much going on back at home. So, yeah, and we are glad at least you could stay in touch with reading all this while through Read30. Yep.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, Smile, you get to pick someone.
Yes, so I'll pick Wahab.
Wahab.
Wahab, sorry. Wahab.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, being honest, I haven't been consistent throughout the cohort because a lot of things happened. But yeah, I did stick to one book as I mentioned in the previous session as well, which was something I didn't used to do before. Like I would be halfway through a book and then leave that book there, pick up a new one, and like I couldn't complete a book. But then over this cohort, I have been sticking to one book and I have made considerable progress on that. Plus, then it has been yeah, काफी happening. It has been a good experience because coming from reader log, there were a very few people over there, and it was a closed group. But then coming to a scaled version of reader log over here, it felt good making tools that people are going to use. And yeah, it in terms of reading, it hasn't been as productive as I wanted it to be, but hopefully from C2 I'll be more consistent, and yeah, hopefully I can help people read more as well through the tools that we are building.
What are you going to do differently in C2?
Again, I'll be consistent. I'll be posting more. I've already said that Discord felt a lot of friction while posting the exam, even though I have read on this, but I haven't posted on Discord, so that social element was missing. So I'll try to get more social over here, and yeah, that's one thing I'll look to improve, and also being consistent, maintaining the streak. Now that we have the profile there, it would be good to showcase that yeah, I've been reading for 30 days. The streak is there.
Right, and we will also try that WhatsApp integration if we can get that done.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
although the poll says otherwise, the poll says stay on Discord, but I feel WhatsApp is more integrated into our lives, and
Exactly.
it would be, even if you just come on WhatsApp and say I'm done, just
Yeah.
type one word, or just like if a bot messages you, have you read for the day, and just there's a button and you say yes. I think that is an easier logging than Discord,
Right.
wherein yeah, I think this is a problem that we both face, right? This cohort wherein
Yeah.
we face friction. So yeah, let's try something with WhatsApp. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Sure.
Yes, Omkar.
So to add in here, Discord is wonderful. The platform is nice and it provides like a social like water cooler for your reading habits. So I think WhatsApp may not do that. Would it make sense to do this directly on Twitter, like the accountability part? Ask people to just tweet about like one like read about. Would is it too invasive?
So
Someone's
we sort of assumed people would do that. That's why we had a hashtag as well, but nobody did.
so instead of going to like Discord and then channel, then finding your own thing, then adding one more, instead just like tweet out what you read today and use your hashtag. I'll do that from the next time. I think that will keep me.
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking from a mandate perspective. I'm not sure if like everyone would be comfortable sharing. Yeah, because sort of when you're tweeting something out, especially an excerpt, it is almost like you are putting your stamp of approval that you liked it in some sense. That's what your tweets, your retweets, your likes are, right? It's a reflection of your taste. So that's why we sort of did this design decision in the profile as well, wherein we have an option to make a particular excerpt public on your profile or not. So logging is one thing, but it's not like all the excerpts you log will be visible on your profile. You can like individually choose whether this is something you want to showcase or not. So yeah, I think same goes with Twitter as well, wherein you might not want to share everything, and then also there's that element of introvert versus extrovert, wherein not everyone would be comfortable. Yeah, so even like some people might. It also sometimes happens that when people announce their goals publicly, they actually get the dopamine hit before itself, and then they lose motivation in completing it. So yeah, I think bunch of factors involved. So hard to standardize things for everyone. But yeah, I think from an optional perspective, I think we already have the hashtag setup which you can use, and yeah, I think it's good that you have in mind ki, this is something that you'll be doing differently next month. Yeah, sounds good. I think the entire point of like habit formation is very personal, and it's something that everyone needs to figure out for themselves, as well as it can change with time. What might work for you today might not work 1 year down the line. So it's a continuous process.
That does make sense. I'm sorry for cutting in. I think someone was about to speak and I butted in. So
No worries. So, Wahab, you are supposed to pick someone between Pranjal, Swapnil, and me. We are the three people left.
I'll choose you, Ankita.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go next. I started the month with a mom test, and the book was really great, really interesting, and it was a lot of knowledge as well. So I do feel I'll have to read the book a few times to actually uh, get it in my work. So the mom test basically talks about how one should talk to customers to get the right kind of insights, in the sense that, when you go to someone and say, hey, do you like this or do you not like this, they might give you very objective answers which might not reflect what they really think. Liking something is different from buying something, and we want the user to buy something. So it just explains the line of questioning that one should follow, how you should get into their lives, their problems, and make it about them, the customer, rather than your product, which most of us tend to do. So it was great. And I think the one thing I liked about the book was it was very example driven. It would give a conversation and say, this is wrong, this is where it went wrong, and then it would present the better way, better line of questioning. So I liked how that was written. And at the same time, it offered thumb rules and pointers to remember stuff. So even if you like, that is what I've done. I've compiled all the thumb rules in a page and kept it with me. So whenever I just want to run across the, if I'm supposed to take a session, take a feedback session, I prepare my questions, I run it across those thumb rules. And so in that way, it's pretty easy. So that was the first book. I'm still yet to write the Twitter thread that I write. So I'm hoping I'll do it before I start the next cohort. The next book I started was uh, 40 stories from the afterlives, which we started in one of the live sessions itself. I have completed almost half of it, and it was interesting on a personal level, because sometime back in my life, I used to love reading about mortality and death and all these things. Mitch Albom became my favorite author, and it was interesting to read another book related to death and mortality and afterlife, but this time not liking it as much. So that was something that I realized on a personal level. So that was great. I'm still reading the book, so I don't think I'll complete it this month itself. But yeah, let's see where we end up. And yeah, I think even I was a part of the mass bunk of the fourth week. But I realized why that happened is I took a short trip in between. And when I came back, I would just sit down, make the excerpts, like the Twitter excerpts, and that's it. Like previously, I would make the excerpts, update the leaderboard, read, and then update my thing on the leaderboard. But then after the trip, for some reason, since I was accountable for the Twitter thing, I would just make those and push those out. But my personal reading uh, took a back step. So that is something I'll have to work on. Yeah. So I think I'll pick Pranjal next. Hello, Pranjal. Can you hear us? Okay, no worries. So Pranjal will share her thoughts by writing it down, because she's in a train. So I actually love her dedication that she's attending this call from a train, which is crazy. I would not have done that. So I think Swapnil, you are the last one. So you can go next.
Cool. So this month I mostly picked books from authors I have liked before. So I started with one book from Richard Dawkins. It was called The God Delusion, and the good part about picking like a repeat author is their style and the topics that they write on. But the bad part is it it really is different when it comes to the content overlap. I found that since I have read one of his earlier books called The Selfish Gene, I did not have a lot of like aha moments in this book, and and also like I made the mistake of going into it with a lot of expectations, because uh, the last book that I read from the same author, I loved it. Like I had made extensive notes on it, and it was super fun. I shared the notes with many people. It was crazy, and yeah, this book, I would just say I was like highly disappointed. So yeah, I would just recommend you can skip it. Yeah, the other one that I read that was really nice. It's called Never Split the Difference, and um, similar to Mom Test, it's very conversational driven book. So it's written by an ex FBI agent, so there's a lot of credibility, and every chapter starts with a real world hostage example, which was something the team has faced before, and then how did they try to sort of diffuse that situation, and how did that go. Of course, not everything went well. um, Not everything went well in all the cases, but in the cases that it didn't go well, there also the author tries to give a reasoning on why did it not work and what could they have done instead. And the best part is that 80% of the chapter is just conversation, like just a situation example. And then at the end, in just like 2-3 pages, the author just summarizes the key points, and done, you're in the next chapter. So it's a very nice and quick, like it's very dense read in that way. So I really liked it. And then I read a children's book. It's called The Giving Tree. It was a very quick read. It's about a tree that gives her all to make a boy happy. Yeah, I think so children's books ka main wahi hai ki you can like relate it to anything in your personal life. So yeah, the the words are really simple. It's a very short read as well. Like one page, the median words on one page is like 1 or 2 lines. That's there on that page, and the rest are just drawings. So I was like, yeah, I just read it in like 30-40 minutes. Yeah, it was pretty small. Yeah, and right now I'm reading a sci-fi by Blake Crouch, again one of the authors that I really like, and it's called Upgrade. And I'm liking it so far. It's just that last week I have not been able to read because like I recently traveled, I changed cities, and yeah, I feel travel really, you have to like set up your habits again because your routine changes, and yeah, so I'm just trying to figure that out. But I think this call is helpful in that sense that forcing me to do a reflection so that yeah, I can take some course correction from tomorrow, or from first. Yeah,
Great. What was the other book by Richard Dawkins that you liked?
The Selfish Gene.
Okay, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, so Pranchal has shared her thoughts. I'll just read it quickly. I can hear you all, but I guess I won't be audible. I thought of starting with Ikigai for teens as I had already started it before the cohort, but lost interest in between. Then switched to The Little Prince, completed it pretty soon, found it amazing. and then started with some 40 tales from the afterlives. Done with almost 40% of it. Found it as a mixed kind of a book. Some stories are interesting and found some as okayish kind of. The best part is I'm finding myself into that zone where my mind is reminding myself at the end of the day to read and feels like something is missing if I fail to do so. Though I wasn't consistent, but I still am very happy with it. So great, Pranjal. I'm so glad. I love it when this happens, that your day isn't complete without reading or without doing one specific thing. So yeah, even I want to achieve that state. So hopefully, yep. So it was great hearing all of your experience and having all of you all with us for the first inaugural round of CBC, not CBBC. So yeah. Anyone would like to share their thoughts? Anything? I think we all did a round, but still, if there's anything left behind.
Yeah, I think it was pretty fun organizing as well. I think we have been brainstorming a lot behind the scenes, and yeah, excited. I'm excited for future cohorts. Yeah.
And hope to see you all there again.
Cool. Then I'll play some music now. All right, folks, have a great Sunday and keep reading. I'll see you soon. Bye.